All right, let's talk about the massive shift from just passively consuming information to actually building a skill. It's the real difference between dreaming about doing something and, well, actually doing it. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can make that leap.
So I want to start with a question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Think about the last time you wanted to learn something. Did you just spend hours watching tutorials, scrolling through threads, and saving a bunch of links? Or did you actually build something? Anything? Because there's a world of difference between the two.
And that difference, that right there, is what we call the modern trap. We all know the feeling, right? You get this buzz of productivity just from gathering info. You've got like 20 tabs open, a whole folder of bookmarks. You feel like you're getting somewhere. But here's the kicker. In reality, your actual skill level, it hasn't budged, not one bit. You've mistaken the map for the actual journey. This whole thing really boils down to two identities. First, you've got the consumer. They're stuck in that trap, just reacting to whatever the algorithm feeds them next. And then there's the architect. They don't react, they design. They figure out what they want to achieve, build a system to get there, and no surprise, they're the only ones who actually grow. So that's what we're here to do, guide you through that shift from reacting to actually designing your own future.
Okay, first up, let's really get into the weeds on this modern learning trap. Because understanding why watching a video isn't the same as actually doing the thing, that's step one. This trap is seriously the single biggest roadblock to mastering anything. So what's actually going on inside your brain? Well, every time we watch a tutorial or read a guide, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine, the reward chemical. It feels good, it feels productive, like you're accomplishing something. But it's a total fake out. Your brain is getting rewarded for just the idea of growth, which completely zaps the motivation to do the hard work of, actual growth. So how in the world do we escape this loop? Well, I can tell you, the answer isn't some new productivity app. It's a much deeper, more fundamental shift in how you see yourself. It's all about adopting the architect's identity.
And this is so crucial to get. Mastery is not an accident. It doesn't just happen to you. It is a conscious decision. See, a drifter just kind of waits for inspiration to strike. But a master decides who they are going to become. And then they act like it. That single choice, to see yourself as an architect, that's the real starting line.
This quote, it just perfectly nails the architect's mindset. A consumer says, I'll practice later when I feel motivated. An architect, they build a system and they follow the system, period. It doesn't matter how they feel. Inspiration is flaky, systems are solid. Your mood simply does not get a say in what gets done. And this idea of building a system is everything. An architect literally rigs the game in their own favor. They're not relying on willpower. We all know how unreliable that is. Instead, they design their environment, their schedule, their whole structure to make doing the work the easiest possible option. It actually becomes harder to skip the practice than to just sit down and do it.
Okay, so you've adopted the identity. You're ready to be an architect. Awesome. Now what? Now we get into the core principles. Think of these as the non-negotiable, unbreakable rules for learning fast and learning for real.
This is rule number 1. And honestly, it might be the most important. It's the one-to-one rule. Here it is. Any piece of information you take in that isn't immediately put into practice isn't knowledge. It's just mental trash. It's entertainment. All it does is clutter up your mind and give you that false sense of progress we've been talking about. This rule forces you to turn theory into action right away.
So what does this look like in the real world? Okay, say you're learning to code and you watch a video on a new function. Don't you dare just bookmark it. No, you pause the video, you close the tab, and you open your editor and write that function yourself until it works. Learning a new language. After a lesson on ordering coffee, you say the phrase out loud 10 times. The goal is to shrink the gap between knowing and doing to 0. Just get moving.
All right, principle number 2 is all about focus. It is so tempting to try and learn 5 different things at once, right? But all that does is make you kind of mediocre at all of them. True value, the kind of skill that people notice and reward, that comes from depth. You have to pick one thing and go all in.
And look, let's just do the math here, because it's simpler than you think. If you put in just 90 focused minutes a day, that's it, on one single skill, in 6 months, you will have racked up 270 hours of deep work. 270 hours. Think about that. While everyone else is scattered and distracted, you've just built a massive, massive advantage.
This metaphor is just perfect.
Dabbling is like taking a tiny hammer and tapping it all over a big sheet of steel. Sure, it makes a lot of noise, but you're not getting anywhere. But concentrated effort? That's a blowtorch aimed at a single spot. It's quiet, it's focused, and it will cut right through.
So we have the identity, we have the principles. Now let's build your daily learning algorithm. This is the practical, step-by-step system that turns all this good intention into actual daily action.
You know, the biggest difference between a consumer's day and an architect's day just comes down to the order of operations. The consumer wakes up and immediately grabs their phone. Stimulation. Their brain gets its easy dopamine fix right away, and then there's zero motivation left for the hard stuff. The architect? They flip that script completely upside down.
Here's the playbook. 1. Work first. Before you get any artificial stimulation, you do the deep work. No phone, no email, no distractions. 2. Lock the variables. You take decision-making out of the equation. Practice at the same time in the same spot every single day. Make it automatic. And 3. The reward, the coffee, the music, checking your phone. That stuff only comes after you've put in the effort. This literally retrains your brain to connect hard work with the reward.
Okay, so right about now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but my goal? It just feels huge. It feels heavy and overwhelming to even start. That is a totally normal feeling. It's a huge roadblock, but the architect has a really simple way around it.
Here's the secret. You don't try to find more willpower. You just shrink the task. Don't commit to working out for an hour. Just promise yourself you'll put on your workout clothes. Don't commit to writing a chapter. Just commit to writing one sentence. The goal is to make the starting line so ridiculously easy that it's actually harder to avoid it than to just do it. And once you start, momentum almost always takes over.
So let's bring this all together. We've covered the trap that keeps people stuck, the identity shift you have to make, the core principles to live by, and the daily algorithm to make it all happen. And it all comes down to a choice that you make today about who you want to be 6 months from now.
I want you to really think about this. Just picture it. It's 6 months from today. Who are you? What have you built? What new skill do you now possess? Because your life moves in chapters, and the next one starts right now. And there are really only 2 paths you can take.
And here is that choice laid bare. In 6 months, the drifter is in the exact same spot with a whole new list of excuses. But the architect? The architect has built something. They have real, visible proof of their progress. They now possess a skill that makes them rare, valuable, and irreplaceable. And that is the ultimate takeaway. You can spend the rest of your life watching, admiring, and consuming the incredible things that other people have built. Or you can make the decision right now to stop watching and start building. Stop being a drifter, start being a designer. It's time to become the architect of your own mastery.